Happy Monday, Math 6 classes. You did a nice job on your quizzes from last week. I apologize for forgetting to put the answer for number 6 at first, but it did adjust your scores accordingly, so you did a nice job with that. Today we're going on to chapter 9, some more with some geometry. We're talking about areas and perimeters of different shapes, and then move on to 2D shapes, to 3D shapes next week. For today, we're going to do a little lesson out of the book. So we're going to be working out of your Math 6 books, pages 532 to 533. 14 to 25, and then 30 through 33. Notice on number 31, there should be no calculator in that problem. For our assignment today, because we're going to be working with circles a little bit today, you are definitely going to want a calculator, your math book, and a piece of paper. And our learning target for today is that we're going to calculate the area or the distance, the distance around shapes, whether they are polygons or circles. All right, so first of all, I'll review perimeter is the distance around a geometric shape. To find the perimeter, which we're going to shorten with the variable p, you can add the lengths of the sides. So if we were to have this triangle right here, because of the property, the commutative property, we can do this adding in any order. I would first of all do 25 and 25, thinking of money, and get 50. 50 plus 15 more would have a perimeter of 65 centimeters. Okay, the formula for finding the perimeter, if we have a rectangle, couple ways you can do it. You can double the length, you can double the width, and put those together if you'd like to. So if I wanted to use that formula on this shape, I could double the length. So if I doubled 18, I would have 36. I can then double the width, and if I double 14, I would get 28, and I can add those two together. So 6 plus 8 is 14. I would have a perimeter of 64 feet. Sometimes students like to look at it this way. They like to add two sides, the length and the width, together. They could do 18 plus 14 and get 32, and they could double that also. And if you doubled 32, you would get that same value of 64. Okay, so for polygons, it's rather simple. You're going to add all the sides together. However, if we have a circle and we want to know the distance around a circle, if we had a circle, and if we wanted to take a piece of string and measure how long that piece of string would be all the way around, the problem is there aren't any sides to add together. So for circles, we're going to use a formula. The distance around a circle is called the circumference. So it's not the perimeter. Perimeter means you add the sides together. We don't have any sides, so it's the circumference. For every circle, the ratio of the circumference, or the distance around, we're going to use the variable c, compared to the diameter. And I know we haven't talked about circles this year, but in 4th grade you should have. The circumference, once again, is all the way distance around. The diameter is the distance all the way across the circle going through the center. Okay, so the ratio of the circumference compared to the diameter is always going to be the same. This ratio, the circumference divided by diameter, is represented by the Greek letter pi, this right here. Okay, it's called pi, no e at the end. Okay, pi is actually a never-ending value, which I think a lot of you already knew that. I've got posters of it in my room. It is about 3.14. Sometimes you might use a fraction also. The fraction 22/7, so if you divide 22 by 7 on your calculator, you get 3.1428571. It would continue going on and on and on. Because the number never actually ends, we shortened to 3.14. Now, even though your calculator more than likely has a pi key on it, when we are working with our problems today, we're either going to use 3.14 or 22/7. Don't use the pi key, because then you get these super long answers that you have to end up rounding anyways. Okay, so some key definitions for today. Circumference, the distance around your circle. Diameter, all the way across your circle going through the center. The third vocab word would be the word radius. And radius is the distance from the center to any edge of your circle. So when we are doing this, we're always going to say C stands for the circumference, the distance around. R is always going to represent, in geometry, radius, or the distance from the center to an edge of the circle. And then D is always going to stand for diameter, and that's going to be going through the center connecting two sides. Okay, so our formula for today to find the circumference, I'd like you to write this at the top of your piece of paper. The formula is circumference is the same as 2 times pi times the radius. Okay, now there's another formula you can also use. If I were to think on my circle, if this is a radius and it says we have 2 times the radius, if I have one radius here and if I draw another radius here, I can see that 2 radii combine to make a straight line. 2 radii is the same as the diameter. So you could also use the formula pi times diameter. Which one makes more sense to you? In middle school, you will more than likely use this one here. Pi times diameter is going to be your circumference. All right, so find the circumference of the circle to the nearest tenth. Use 3.14 for pi. Okay, so for this first one right here, if we're going to use pi times diameter, all I'm going to do on my calculator is I'm going to plug in 3.14 for pi. My diameter is given to me is going to be 12, so I'm just going to take 12 times 3.14, and I would say that the circumference around is, and it says to round it to the nearest tenth. When I first get this, I get 37 and 68/100ths, but my directions say to the nearest tenth. This is my 10th spot. Looking next door, I would say it's about 37 and 7/10ths, and I'm measured in inches. That would be my final answer. Okay, for the second one, once again, my formula is pi times diameter. So I'm going to put 3.14. My diameter, if this distance right here is 11, it means the other half is also 11. So 11 plus 11 would give me 22. So I would take 3 and 14/100ths. I would multiply it by 22. I'm going to get about 69 and 8/100ths. Rounding it to the nearest tenth, I've got 0/10ths right now. Looking next door, that 8 tells me to bump it up. So my estimated distance around the circumference would be 69 and 1/10 centimeter. Our last one right here, we have 3.14. They've already told us the whole distance across is 7. So 3 and 14/100ths times 7 would give me about 21 and 98/100ths. Once again, rounding to the nearest tenth, my 9 is the 10th spot. I'm either going to keep it at 9 or move it up. If I look next door, that 8 tells me to bump it up. So 21 and 9/10ths would round up to 22 even. 22, whoops, sorry, not centimeters, 22 inches. Okay, so we're going to be doing today is finding the perimeter. So once again, we can add those sides up in any order. On this first one right here, I might say, okay, 8 and 12 is 20, plus another 10 is 30, plus 9 is 39, plus 6 would give me 45 meters. Okay, on rectangles, 2 ways you can do it. You can double the length and get 20. You can double the width and get 16 and add them together. Or you could say 10 plus 8 is 18 and then double that to get 36 inches. All right, number 3 says, what is the circumference of a circle with a radius of 8 inches? Use 3.14 for pi. Remember, our formula is pi times diameter. I know I'm going to put 3.14 in for my pi. I have a radius of 8, but my formula does not say radius, it has diameter, so we want to think if the radius is 8, to get the diameter, we would double that and get 16. Okay, Number 4, if a guardrail is to be placed around the edge of a circular swimming pool with a diameter of 21 feet, how many feet of railing will be needed? Once again, you can use either 22/7 or 3.14. Boys and girls, when I would use 22/7 for your for pi, I would do that if your measurements are in fractions. So let's say if you had a circle, okay, and the distance across the circle, let's say, was I don't know, let's say it was 1/2 of a foot. If they said that the diameter is 1/2 of a foot and they want to know how many feet would that be, instead of change to 6 inches, 1/2 of a foot. So if you're going to take circumference is pi times diameter, in this case you might do your pi is 22/7. You're multiplying it by 1/2. In this case you can cancel, so I could cancel my 2 and my 22, and multiplying across, I would get, I'm out of room right here, but I would get 11/7, which is the same as 1 4/7 feet. So you'll usually use 3.14 unless you're working with fractions, then I would use 22/7 as your value for pi. So today we're working out of your book. We will be collecting your books that last week of school when your parents can come to get your bag of your supplies from school. It's going to be a pickup and a return process. So you'll return your textbooks then. You'll also be returning any Chromebooks if you have them checked out, or any library books at that time too. So once again, please write down, we're going to do 14 through 25, 30 through 33 out of your textbook. Okay, I hope you have a wonderful day. If you have any questions, feel free to Google Meet with me at 2 o'clock today, and I'll have the answers attached also today. All right, have a wonderful day, and I will hopefully talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.